Hej och välkommen till Yogiskt, en podd om yoga och meditation. Jag heter Cecilia och idag är jag på yogashala på Gotlandsgatan och ska intervjua en väldigt speciell gäst. Jag ska intervjua Sharath Jois som är ashtangayogan och dess andliga ledare, barnbarn till Paramaguru Jois. Most welcome to the Yogist podcast, Sharath Jois.
Hello.
I am so happy to have the opportunity to be able to talk to you in this podcast that we have here in Sweden.
I'm so happy to be talking on the podcast.
So you are quite the celebrity, I have to say that. And you live in Mysore, and now you're here in Sweden today. How come?
I've been. This is not my first time to Sweden. I've been here many times. This is just a routine visit, like.
So it's like the fourth time or something.
Yeah, fourth time. Yeah, there's lots of yoga practitioners here. So ashtanga yoga practitioners. So I have to make this visit to see everyone and teach them. So.
And you have a workshop, but you're also here to launch a book, right?
Yeah, we just released a book. I just wrote a book, and it was released in India a couple of months back, and then it became very popular. And few of my students in Sweden got interested to translate it into Swedish. So that's how it started. So then now it's ready. So I came to launch the book. Yeah.
And I'm going to come back to that because it has quite an interesting title. It's called Ageless.
Yeah.
But I'd like to start at the beginning because today I think it's actually fair to say that you're a yoga celebrity. I don't think that you would like that title yourself.
Yoga is the celebrity.
That's one of the key messages that I hear you say all the time, and that's also something that we definitely dive into. But I mean, coming into yoga, I would say in my 20s or something like that, you've had quite the childhood compared to mine, yoga-wise. You were brought up in one of the most well-known yoga traditions all over the world. Your grandfather was sort of the ashtangayoga father.
Yeah.
So how was that growing up?
I mean, when I was very young, I saw all these foreigners and many students, even Indians. They all coming to learn yoga from my grandfather. And we also, actually then when we were young, we were forced to practice yoga. It was not that I wanted to go, but no choice. But my grandfather wanted me to go and practice, which I did. I didn't have really interest in yoga. I was always had interest in playing cricket. Cricket is a big game in India. So I wanted to play that, but somehow I was forced to do that. But I enjoyed a little bit. I don't say that I did. Yeah, I enjoyed a little bit, but when you're a child, you need to go out and spend time with your friends, play with your friends. So that was the scenario at that time. So it was really great to see all these students coming from all over. Then it was not so popular, yoga. We had mostly Indians practicing yoga. So then there were few foreigners who were coming to practice. So it was fascinating to see all this.
I'm thinking that being a young child, so many people coming with a mission to either better themselves or better the yoga or get a better connection to themselves, basically seekers, all of them. What did that tell you about the world?
I mean, everyone, problems are there in life and everyone wants to search for a solution. Like health problem or mental problems or any kind of other problems which you are looking for a solution for that. And I think yoga is the solution. Like if you have a health problem, you can take medicine but it's not a permanent relief for you. So you need to find some good solution which is permanent. So many came to practice yoga to gain good health. So that was there. And at the same time, everyone wants to live a good life and a stress-free life. So I think yoga offered that to many. So that is how this happened.
So being a young child, being forced by family reasons to get into yoga, and now you're several years into it, was there a specific point in time where everything sort of, this is my thing, it clicked, or did something happen?
No, when I was 19 years, my grandmother and my grandfather, they were alone living like 7-8 kilometers away from our house. They live in Lakshmipuram, which is a different area in Mysore. We lived in Gokulam. We just moved to Gokulam with my father came. He was working abroad, and we built a new house in Gokulam. We moved there. Earlier we were staying with my grandfather for 14 years. Then we moved. When I was 19 years, my grandfather and grandmother, they were alone. There was no one to take care of them. And my mom said, you should go and help them. I went just to help them, that's all. Help in teachings, his teachings, assist him in few. That's how I went. But then I restarted my practice. And then it took me 6 months to get into that routine. Because I was young, I was teenager. It is difficult at teenage. When you're a teenager, you want to spend time with your friends, you hang around with your friends, do all this teenager things outside. Yeah, I want to be free. But at that 19, it took me 6 months to get into that routine. Yogis have a different routine. You have to get up early morning. You have to be more disciplined. So somehow, I don't know what happened after 6 months. Even I don't know. And something changed. I said, I should take this seriously. And something happened in me which grew really strong in me. Which really happened. Let's start again. So it took me 6 months to get into that yogic routine. You have to have lots of discipline. You have to get up early and do your own practice, which we call as sadhana. So this happened. Then something happened after 6 months which made me, which attracted me a lot towards this practice. Then earlier I used to go at 6 o'clock in the morning. Then suddenly after 6 months I changed it to 3:30. Yeah, 3:30. Then,
so strange.
Yeah. Then it was, basically it was asanas which really attracted me. Like asanas was very, very interesting to know and learn and do. So this grew very strongly in me that I should go and learn asanas. So this started at that age, at 19 years. Then I didn't see back. It was always going and learning. Yeah.
It's so funny because you and I are born the same year. So
No.
when you talk about being 19, I was 19 too. Probably doing quite different things.
Yeah.
But I think that in those years, when you're starting to turn towards adulthood, because that's what's starting to happen, I don't think it really happens until you're 25, 28, something like that. But you start to attract things into your life that are potentials for you to really devote yourself to. There could be different things and you have to choose your path, but clearly you had 6 months there where things turned.
Yeah. I always, from my childhood, I always liked spiritual stories. So like in India, Hanuman is the strongest and very devoted to Rama. So like that, these stories were very, very fascinating for me. I always used to listen if someone is telling these kind of stories, I was very attentive to listen to that. So this was in me, like spirituality was there in me already, but I think this practice gave a meaning to it. So it made me grow stronger in spiritual practice. So
it's quite interesting because in my opinion, Ashtanga, it's not my opinion, it's what it is. It's very physical, but it's also a way you almost use the body as a way into your emotions and thoughts, and it becomes, even if it can be very physical, very you develop strength, and you need strength. It's also the stillness in the practice at the same time, which fascinates me so much, and I'm a beginner at Ashtanga.
I think Ashtanga Yoga is misunderstood. Not many people have understood Ashtanga Yoga properly. They look it as a physical practice. But there is so many other things in Ashtanga Yoga which really makes you realize what yoga is. It is not just physical. Many people, they get obsessed with the third limb, which is the asana practice. And they think, if I go deeper, if I do too many asanas, that means I'm an Ashtanga yogi. This is really bad to think. Ashtanga yoga has other aspects also, which yama niyamas are there. And then comes asanas. So once we have proper understanding of other limbs also, then not only understanding, we should apply that in our daily life. Application is most important. Once we apply that, we'll get a better meaning and better understanding of what Ashtanga Yoga is. So many times people think, Ashtanga Yoga is just bending your body, putting a leg behind the head. There are different asanas. There are different levels of asanas. That is for different purpose. When you are young, you can do many asanas. When you are young, you can do all the advanced postures if your body is allowing you to do. So there are certain subtle practice also which is really small, just to keep yourself fit and keep your mind calm. So that practice is also there in Ashtanga Yoga. We have to apply yama niyamas while doing in our practice and in our daily life. So yoga is not just on your mat. Yoga should be off your mat also. So there are other things which is off your mat. That is also very important. How you lead your life, how you interact with people, how you react and reactions, and all these things matter in your life.
It feels like when I hear your teaching and look at interviews on YouTube and stuff like that, it feels like something that you're almost both explicitly and implicitly driving towards, including ages, body types, different levels, and being everybody can do Ashtanga Yoga.
Yeah.
That's what I'm hearing from you.
Yeah, exactly. Anyone can do. See, we all have our body, body limitations, like how we can bend our body. We have limitations in bending our body, but there are many asanas which still we can do until we are 80-85 years old.
Then we have to
So
back.
you don't have to necessarily do all this deep back bendings or do handstands, all those things. This is not necessary. It's good for youngsters. But there are other practices also which we can do japa, which is any age can do japa. Still you are practicing Ashtanga Yoga. And there are pranayama techniques. There are few asanas. So this doesn't have any age. You can do this in any age. So that was the idea of making this book ageless.
Yes, please talk about the book. Ageless I think it's something that, if you look at society as a whole, especially if you generalize and say the West, age and becoming older is something that there seems to be a huge struggle for everybody with accepting.
Yeah. So we have to accept our age. In your 20s, you'll be 20s. When you're 80s, you can't be 20s. Even when you're in 60s, you can't be 20s. That is, we have to accept. That's the nature. So nobody can go against the nature. The nature, we have to accept everything. When we are 60, we have to accept we are 60. but there is, if you practice yoga, you don't look like 60. You'll be active like 30, 40s. So this is the main purpose of doing ageless, is to say that, see, if you have this kind of practice in your life, not only as the practice, your food, your food and diet, and a certain lifestyle, if you follow, you can live younger. It is not just only asanas what you have to do. There is other things also in yoga. Then the mind can be steady at all the time. Not only by doing asanas. You have to be more conscious about your food, your lifestyle. When you sleep, how you sleep, how much you sleep, how much you eat, how much asanas you do, everything matters. So if you have those balanced in everything, so then will be less stress. You'll have less stress. You'll live longer. So sometimes when there is lots of stress, you feel very old also. And physically, when we do asanas, there are certain asanas like primary series, we can say. If you do these kind of asanas, your cells in your body also will age slowly. The process of aging gets slower. So this is the main idea of making that book. And one more thing is, any age can practice. By seeing this book, this was made mainly for our Indian audience, Indian practitioners, yoga practitioners. So this is just simple book which can reach many people. And you don't have to be super flexible to do all the asanas. So it's just simple asanas which you can do daily to keep yourself healthy and stress-free.
I think that's the word. I wonder, and I wanted to get your opinion on this, because I feel that stress is one of the words that we talk about, we hear about, we feel. It's like the levels of stress have increased and increased and increased, and you start to see in all parts of society the effects or the damage. What do you think stress is so prevalent today?
Stress is when we can't manage ourselves, that becomes stress. And nowadays you see people, the trend of people is different. They want to do too many things. They want to achieve too many things. They want to do too many things. Too much stress comes through that because they can't achieve many things. Nowadays, for us in the past, it was just yoga. But now the new generation and new people they want to do yoga, they want to do that, they want to do this. They have too many things to do in their life. They want to achieve in every field or everything, which is impossible. Yeah. So you have to choose one thing, then be good in that. Yeah. So this, once you put your hands to everything, then it becomes stress because you can't manage everything.
You spread yourself too thinly, so you don't have enough energy to manage all the...
Yeah, everything. We want to do this, we want to do that, we want to do everything in life, which this will cause lots of stress.
My mother used to say, or she's still saying this, that it's not a number of 100-meter races all the time, it's a marathon.
Yes.
Save your energy. And I think it's a quite good advice, because I think about that sometimes when I'm on the mat as well. Breathe. Stay in the moment. It's not supposed to be about getting to a goal.
Yeah. Yoga doesn't have any goal. Yoga is to keep yourself balanced. How to balance your mind, how to balance your body and mind. So this is what yoga means. Samatvam yoga uchyate. Samatvam means to keep that balance in you, in whatever ups and downs comes. At that time, to keep yourself balanced. When you are stressed out, you should calm down yourself and try to do what is necessary at that time. So,
sorry, you go ahead.
No.
So, what about your own journey with yoga? What has been your struggles and challenges, and how has it evolved during the years?
I mean, there was many challenges in a sense to get up when I was a teenager, getting up at 3 o'clock. That's a huge challenge, which I went through every day, traveling from 6 kilometers from my house to my grandfather's house to learn yoga. So this was a challenge. I don't know anything other than yoga.
No.
So this is my thing.
Yeah.
If you remove yoga from me, teaching yoga from me, I don't know what to do. I still keep practicing my own sadhana, and sadhana will happen, but I don't know. But I involved so much in that, I never really got time to think about anything else. So if I'm like that, if I'm focused in one thing, I'm totally put everything to that, heart and soul to that. So that was the kind of I'm like that all the time. So this was so focused. I was so focused, so deeply focused in learning this system and this learning method. So I really never thought about anything else. Evenings, when around 4 o'clock, 3 o'clock, I used to 3 o'clock, 4 o'clock, I used to think about next day's practice. So I have to get up and do my practice. Practice was everything for me.
Yeah.
So this actually, and there is one thing, if you really like something, other things will get away from you. If you are totally involved in one thing, it is like an artist. When someone artist is painting, he totally puts heart and soul to it. Whole concentration is to make a good painting. And other things, everything will get away from him.
Yeah. It will be only about
So it will be only about that. That person, he or she will only concentrate on that. And it's exactly like that. I was so focused in my own sadhana. I wanted to get up early morning. This gave me lots of pleasure. It gave me lots of pleasure. Nothing else really attracted me this much. So only yoga, which made me really, really focus. And I just wanted to practice yoga. That's all. I didn't even wanted to become a teacher or teach. And I didn't want to become famous or anything else. I just wanted to do my own sadhana and try to realize what this yoga is.
Yeah.
So I was totally focused in my sadhana. Still I am, but
That's devotion.
that's devotion.
So,
Still now in Mysore, when I'm teaching in Mysore, I get up at 12:30. I do my practice, and then I go on time. I've never missed one day of teaching. I go and be on time. Actually, I'll be 10-15 minutes earlier than my class starts.
that's the person and the personality and devotion that you wanted to be as the front figure. But what would you say, because we have a lot of listeners that struggle with everyday challenges that really they're all into yoga and want to practice, and sometimes they struggle with resistance or when you get distracted. What would be your advice in that situation?
I think everyone should practice yoga every day. Life has different colors. It is not the same all the time. So what yoga does, it gives the strength to handle things in our life. So it makes us think better, and makes our life balanced. Our mind also keeps balanced. So everyday struggle means many times we have struggle not in our asana practice, other things which is happening in our life, daily life. So once we have that, we think it is because of our practice. It is never because of practice. It is what happens after your practice in your daily life. So this increases as it becomes like a stress. So then you have to commit to your practice every day. And this becomes very difficult for many people. But we should think the opposite way. If I practice, I can manage myself better. So that is true, actually. This is my own experience. When there are certain things which is stressful in life, if I practice, I'm more calmer. and my day will be really good. The rest of the day I can think better, I can take good actions.
It's almost like yoga bends time, because when I get up early and do the practice, even if it's a long practice, and I maybe intellectually think, which I do sometimes, say that you don't have time to do this long practice, and I say, I can hear you, but I'm going to practice now, so shut up. But then during the rest of the day, it feels like you have more time.
Yeah.
Even if you don't have more time in minutes, obviously, you still feel like you have more time, you get more things done, and I think that has to do with the fact that you're less distracted also.
Yeah. No, we all have time. Now, in modern days, we have people spend hours together on social media, just checking their message and looking what someone is doing, whom they don't know. They want to know about them. They spend many hours of in social media sending messages. Instead of that, that is also good, but keep it limited. And instead of that, take some time from that and do your own practice. In the early mornings is always good because mind is fresh, air is fresh, everything is fresh. So once you do early morning practice, whatever practice, I don't say you have to be super flexible to do your practice. Whatever you have learned, it can be Surya Namaskara, standing postures, some sitting postures, whatever it is, just do that in the mornings. Your whole rest of your day will be really good.
The word discipline is misunderstood, because it's almost like, I don't know the word for it in English now, but when you walk up a stair and have something to hold on to, that's sort of a discipline can mean, I think, that it's a support system basically that allows you to do more. Yeah,
discipline means it's a balanced life. Yeah, one balanced life. This is good. This for our good. Yeah. So once we have a balanced life, our everything. For example, if you have food, you have to have balanced food. You cannot have too much food. No. You have to have food in moderation. So like that, everything in our life, that is called as discipline. You can't. That if you overeat, you'll get stomach upset. If you overdo asanas, also you get you can hurt your body, you can hurt your mind also. So you need to balance. This balance is called as
and that puts some demands on that you set your own boundaries.
This balance is called as discipline.
Yeah. Yeah. That's good. So that you have to set your own boundaries, because you get easily distracted by the reality.
Yeah, definitely. If you don't know your boundaries, you should socialize. That is good, but you should have boundaries. If you are a yoga practitioner, you can't go night out. You can't do party. You can't party with all your friends and get up in the early morning, getting up early and practicing yoga. It's not possible. So you need to lead a certain lifestyle. Yeah. You need to have your boundaries to achieve something. Yeah. It is like that in any profession. It is not only achieving in yoga. In whatever you are doing, we call it as karma yoga. If you are an engineer, if you want to become a good engineer, you have to do certain sacrifices to reach that level, to realize what good engineering is. So if you are a good doctor, you should have your boundaries, and you should know, you should sacrifice certain things to become a good doctor. So it is like that in everything. People don't realize. So when you are a good doctor, if you are a good doctor, that is what good service you will do to the community, to the society. So that is called as karma yoga. That is also yoga involved in that. Yeah, if you are an engineer, if you build a good construction, if you build a good building, which is beautiful, which is helpful for people, And then you become, that is also your karma yoga. Yoga is in every step and in every walk of a life. So yoga is there in our life in every stages. So that we have to realize.
Yeah, and I really like that you're saying that, because the mat, that's 2 hours.
Yeah.
Or something like that, depending on what the day looks like. And the rest of the day and the night, you can practice yoga.
Yeah. No, it's become more fancy now. If someone carries a yoga mat and takes some photos and post it on social media, then they become yogis. Yeah. But there are many good yogis. There are good mothers who are really yogis, who look after their children very well. These are good yogis who have sacrificed many things to look after the children. So you see many saints who have left their luxurious life and they went on to service, becoming a service oriented, going and doing social service. So that is the biggest yogis you can see. It is not just on the mat.
Yeah. But it's sometimes when you have this society, you can't show that. It's difficult to show that on Instagram.
Yeah, those things you cannot show on the Instagram. Now society has become that you have to show proof to them. Oh, okay, see what I'm doing. I do many work, but I don't put on any social media. No. In India, we teach yoga in the schools, and we give school bags. We give so many things we do. We go and do voluntarily. Yeah. So we don't post anything on any social media. So, but people need proof to say, oh, okay, they are doing good work.
Yeah, and that will also always pose the question, why are you doing it? What are you doing it for? To prove it to someone, or to do it
yeah.
for the good of the cause?
In India, we say, if you give it in your right hand, the left hand should not know that you have given. So it's a very good thing which I have learned. Like once ever you give something to someone, that left hand should not know that you have given. No. That means that if you give to someone, you should not go and say, oh, I gave this to someone, I gave this to some. It won't have the same energy. Like it won't have the people who take what you give also, they won't get good energy by taking that. No. So this is the saying we have. So yoga is there in each one of us. We have to recognize that. It's not only on the mat, it is the changes which we have to make in our life.
And listening to you now and how you talk about it is so clear that it is about the practice, it is about the yoga and in the life and spreading that. And what would you say would be the legacy you want to leave behind? What is that you want to be? If someone learned something from me, what would it be?
I don't want to leave any legacy. I just want to teach yoga to everyone and give them this good practice, what I have experienced. Whatever my experience is there, I want to give it to others. Yoga is like a tool. You experience and you give the tool to, share your tool to everyone so that they can experience this beautiful practice. So that is what I want to do. I don't want to leave any legacy or anything. I mean, yoga is to share with everyone. We have to share it in a proper way, in a proper method. So that is my intention. If I have to be honest in my teaching. I have to teach it correctly. And that is my intention. So that people who, students who are practicing, they should feel the energy and they should get the knowledge to them for them to do the sadhana. So that is the only intention I have.
That's a fantastic intention. If that rubs off and it stays with the people, that changes lives.
Yeah, it changes many lives. Once we give this, once we are a role model to others, they want to live like that. That is what we have seen for many generations, that we have seen so many saints, so many rishis we call. sadhus, they have lived a very good life. It's always about yoga, giving others.
And the energy that emanates from them.
Yeah.
It's like, that one very pure note almost that affects everyone.
Yeah. We need to create a healthy environment, healthy society, so that our upcoming generation also can experience this beautiful yoga practice, all those things. So only it can reach to them only when we are giving them the correct method. So once the method is not good, then they will learn the same thing. So that's my work, is to give them the correct message to the younger generation, so that yoga should keep on going, the beautiful practice which I have been practicing for 20-30 years now. So.
It's absolutely fantastic. And if you would have just a few words to say to someone who is looking to start, what would you say?
I think if someone is looking to start to practice yoga, I think they just should jump inside that. And yoga is a beautiful practice. You need to find a right guru to learn. That is very important. Once you practice, you realize many things. So this is the practice which we can't talk and tell someone, okay, you need to experience it. We can talk and say, yoga is like this, yoga is like that. But only when you experience, you will come to know the beauty of it. So that initial commitment is very important. Once that commitment is there, it becomes part of your life. Initially, you have to struggle. You have to get up early morning. You have to put your mat. You have to do. So there'll be some, changes in your body, changes in your mind. These kind of hurdles will be there. Once you pass that hurdles, then yoga becomes part of your life. Your practice becomes part of your life. It is like brushing your teeth every day, early morning. Early morning, we have to brush our teeth as soon as we get up. Yeah. We know that if we don't brush our teeth, we get bad smell. Nobody will come close to us. So yoga should be like that. If I do my own asana practice, all this, other yoga practices, other limbs of practice, then automatically you will be very fresh. Your interaction with other people will be very good. You will be good in your work. So all these things will happen. So this should come in your mind, that I have to practice to be a better person. It is not for others you are practicing. You should practice for yourself to be a better person. If everyone thinks like that, the whole society becomes better. Everyone will start caring for each other. Everyone will start respecting each other. When the thoughts are good, everyone's thoughts are good, it becomes a more healthy society.
Peaceful.
Yeah, peaceful and healthy.
I have truly appreciated sitting down and talking with you. This has been amazing, and I'm so happy that you were able to take some time off your schedule while we were here.
Thank you so much.
And if anyone is thinking about taking a workshop or a class, please look out for when Sharath is coming here next time, which is probably sometime in a year or two.
I have one family at home. I have this bigger family, which is the yoga family. I keep balancing with both. So
basically, look out and you will find out where and when and if.
Yeah. Thank you so much. Yeah.